Hey guys, so it is the last few days here on this allotment before we have to clear out and get off. So I thought it would be a good time to look back over the garden and see how it has changed over the 3 seasons that I have had it. So here we go, a little retrospect of plot 17. Hey guys, so we're here, this is the plot. Ta-da! Number 17 is us. We are right at the back. This is all the other allotment. Okay, so here is the allotment this week, and it is looking dry. It's looking parched. These are doing good, and a lot of them have come up through the netting, which is exactly what I wanted, so I might have to come and start pinching these soon, which I'm dreading because I'm so scared I'm just going to kill all my sunflowers. Okay, so this is the garden this week, and as you can see there is a lot of height on everything, which is great news. A lot of my sunflowers have passed the point of being able to be picked. They're all looking pretty sad to me as well. And to be honest, I'm really bored of sunflowers. Ta-da! A bucket full of not just sunflowers. Good news though, I just cut my first ever dahlia. Oh, I waited a while for you, dude. Gardening in typhoon season! Not so fun! Not so fun! That typhoon lasted almost the entire week and made it onto the international news. So my garden has once again taken a pounding. But the temperatures have dropped this week, so the garden's pretty much done. Everything is starting to die back. The only things I still have to do are cut back all of this gomphrena, which I am going to cut back and then dry, and I'm going to do the same for just the 2 last bits of amaranth that I have as well. I'm going to cut them back and dry them. Finally, I think the most important thing I learned this year is not to be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. The garden that I imagined and the garden that I got were 2 completely different beasts. I have killed so many plants this year. You try and try and try, and they just die. And it's just something you have to accept. Sometimes it's out of your hands, sometimes it's weather, sometimes it's bugs, and sometimes it is you. You just messed up. And that's okay. You know, I didn't have the massive vases of beautiful flowers that I was hoping for, or the beautiful bouquets that you see other people making on these Insta channels, but it's my first year. It's my first year trying. And I did all right. And that's enough for me. And honestly, even if everything didn't work, I've loved being down here. Yeah, it's been hot, really hot, and really sweaty, and there are so many mosquitoes, so many bloody mosquitoes all the time. And it rains and it typhoons, and everything that you've done gets washed away or blown over and you have to start again. But it's all right, because it's nice. As a mother of 3 small children, I get very little alone time. And even on the allotment, if you watch back at my last videos, I quite often have them in tow with me. But on days like today where I get to just come down and tune out the background noise, it's really, really nice. You never get as much done as you think you're going to do. Your flowers are never as beautiful as they think they're going to be. You never get as many as you think you're going to get. Your time runs out really quickly and then the season's over. But it's nice. So I'm going to sit on my dead amaranth and look at my very weedy garden and enjoy some bancha. Yeah. It's cold and it's windy and there's nothing in the garden. So these are my anemone and they're so close, they're getting there. And you know, I had one flower come up before and I was worried that I was only going to get one and have nothing to put in it, but I'm starting to get a lot more now. Look at that! The council have come down and fixed my sign. It all fallen over and broken and now I have a fancy new one. Yay, plot 17. There you go. Pretty much my first and last sweet pea of the year. How sad is that? That mulberry colour would have been so pretty if only I could have got more of it. Next year. We'll do better next year. Morning guys, so I am down cutting my dahlia and they look great. Look at these, I love this black ball one. But I am noticing that some of my dahlia is starting to be affected by powdery mildew. Okay, now it's all weeded. I'm going to go ahead and start spraying with this. Like I say, this is 50-50, just milk and water. Okay, it's been 2 days since I came down and started the treatment for the powdery mildew on these, and we've had a little bit of rain, so I've come down today to put some more of this on because it gets washed off with the rain. But I'm really impressed. I'm going to show you this because it looks like there's hardly any powdery mildew left at all. Okay, here's our box for today. I have a few different types of dahlia, zinnia, my hibiscus flower, some verbascum, some cosmos, echinacea. I've got some Chinese forget-me-not in there somewhere, and some status. That's what's coming home today. But I need to get it in the shade because it's hot. Hot. It is 7 a.m. in the morning here and we have just hit 32 degrees Celsius. It's really, really hot. And if you've been following along, you'll know that I do not have access to any water on the allotment. All the water I have here has to be brought down in tanks. Look at all of these zinnia. They're amazing. These are Bernary Giants. These pink ones are Art Deco. Then I've got my cactus ones, which are Senorita Pink, these ones. That one's a bit past it. And, let's move down here. These are more Bernary Giants, though they're slightly less giant looking, although that one's really big too. And then I've got some of my Queen Lime series, which hasn't done so well this year. They're still quite small. That's really the first one I'm getting, but they seem to have a lot of more buds on them, so hopefully they're going to come on more during the season. But these are looking great, so I'm going to get them cut. First proper cut, Kelly Bryson. Straw flower, look at all those colours. On the bike, ready to go home. I would get this in one shot, but I don't have long enough arms. So this vine I put in was getting so big and there was just no flowers coming, and I was thinking, when are they coming, when are they coming? And then just this week it's kind of exploded with all these little flowery bud things. Okay, so in total I have 59. Obviously some look a lot healthier than others, but I will start them all and see how they do. Okay, I'm down on the allotment with my ranunculus and it's a bit chilly today. Whew. The temperature has definitely dropped. But not everything has died back in my garden, and so I'm having to change my plan a little bit. Okay, there they all are in their wee rows. One's got a leaflet. And they are quite close together. But in my tiny 4x5 allotment, kind of got to squeeze stuff in. But they all look good. Let's get them covered up. So I am putting 2 dahlia tuber in per row that I have, and then I'm going to put my tulip in between those. So I've got my black ones together, my pink ones together. These are the kind of peachy ones, my peggies and my purples together, and then I have 2 rows of random bulbs in at the end here. Ranunculus. Daffodil, anemone, freesia, strawflower, salvia, crimson clover, dahlia, and tulip. For November, that is a pretty full garden. I have strawflower, sweet pea, freesia, anemone, which you can see are just starting to come through. And there, in here, there's another one poking its head through. And daffodil at the end. My first row, all ready for spring. These chrysanthemum are officially the last flower in the garden, but they're a pretty one. Just speak nicely to the garden fairies and hopefully bring us some beautiful sweet pea in the spring. I have no idea when those other guys started their sweet pea. And that is it for my allotment for this year. I really enjoyed it. I think I've got some great flowers out of it. I've had a house full of flowers the whole year. I mean, it's been hot, it's been sweaty, there are mosquitoes. These water tanks are really heavy. I've had disease, I've had bugs, I've had so many plants that didn't work. But I'm just trying them again, and as you can see from my seedling shot, I'm doing a lot better this year. So I hope that I'm going into next season strong. I thought my plot was good last year because it has a little bit of shade, and when it was really hot in the summertime, it kind of protected the plants from the worst of the heat. That's because I didn't have anything in my garden in spring last year. And now you can see this is where the shade starts. And it seems my freesia are not liking it. I mean, it's been windy and it has been cold, but I'm starting to think maybe I'm just a little bit too shaded here. It ends over there. But my plot is completely in shade. Come on, freesia, genki up. Genki dash to there. Hey guys, I am down on the allotment today and I am going to be trying to put up a low tunnel for the first time. stuff with that. And that's it. All of my snapdragon planted in already. I hope I'm not being overly optimistic, but I'm hoping with the frost cloth and the mulch, these guys will like the cold, they'll get nice and tall and give me good strong stems this year. Woo.
How's in that hole? Mommy, go, mommy.
Hey guys, I am down on the allotment today and it's an absolutely beautiful sunny day. You can see the plum blossoms are coming out. Spring is definitely almost here, but don't be fooled. I've been fooled by this before and we are not past our last frost date yet. We are 1 week away from our last frost date, which means it is taking everything in me to not plant out the things that I have growing on at home. I mean, is there even a stem in there? What am I meant to do with that? My dahlia that I left in the ground and overwintered have just woken up and they are starting to get really tall, so it's time for me to go in and give them a pinch. The mosquitoes are going mad. It's about to rain and they've gone mad. Now, this was space that I had for my aster and I seeded my aster, but it was with old seed and it has not germinated. Now, I've had that a few times this year. I tried with my Chinese forget-me-not that I had leftover seed from and all of my aster and nothing has germinated. So I'm really finding, I'm guessing it is the humidity here and the heat that no matter how well I keep them, the seed don't seem to be, after a year, they're not coming up again. My phlox as well has done nothing. And that was all old seed. So I've ended up with this area with nothing to put in it. So I am going to go ahead and get this cosmos in. Now, as you can see, I only have 3 cosmos and even this one's not looking very healthy. And that's because the rest of my cosmos look like this. And I wish I could say it was the heat or it was something natural, but it wasn't. It turns out that, unbeknownst to myself, my 3-year-old has been helping me water my plants and has been basically giving them a bath every day. And so these have died from overwatering. But I have reseeded into the same pot and you can see I've got 1 seed coming up there and another one in there. this year I planted some Shirley poppy, Pandora, I planted a raspberry ripple, I planted some Iceland poppy, and I planted an amazing grey mix. And I love them. They're my favourite thing in the garden. I love them. Whew. Okay, I am hot, sweaty, dirty, and mosquito bitten, but the garden is weeded. Yay! So, what am I doing next? If you watched my spring review video, which I'll put a link to below, you'll know that I did not like my sweet pea, and I'm going to get rid of them. So next, I am going to pull those out. My bucket for today. Got some poppies, some Ami, which is actually self-seeded itself, and I'm really happy about it. And I've cut it too early, but that's because it's just not going to come in time, and it does open up a little bit more in the vase. So it's either take it like this or miss it completely. So I'll take it like this. My snapdragons, and the very last of the anemone in there as well. Okay, so I am now back down on the allotment and I have to get this finished because I am leaving in 2 days. So what am I going to do? I am going to be away for 5.5 weeks, which means anything that is near blooming now, I'm going to miss. And things that are cut and come again, I do not want to miss. So the likes of my snapdragon and my dahlia, which means I am going to go through now and give them a hard chop. Is this a Chelsea chop? Nah. I'm just going to give them a holiday chop. So basically, anything that looks like it might flower within the next 5.5 weeks, I'm going to cut it back. And I'm off to Scotland, so I'll see you guys in a few weeks. Bye! My wee mum. Dun dun dun! Here she is. A bit of a mess. Okay, that's me calling it a day. I am hot, sweaty, dirty and bitten, but I got some flowers and the garden isn't perfect, but it's looking a lot better, and my wee mum is ready to pass out. It's really hot, and this is the time of year where my plants start slowing down. It gets too hot for pretty much everything, and all of my plants start going dormant. So this is usually when I come down and just try and do garden maintenance. I try and keep them hydrated, I cut them back hoping that I'll get a second flush in the autumn. I put on some compost to help keep them healthy, like a compost tea, and I treat any powdery mildew that's starting to appear. Now that usually happens kind of the beginning of August. We're a bit fast this season, but as you can see, I've done none of those things. And the garden is looking like a bit of a weedy mess. And that's not just because I'm lazy and it's really hot and I don't want to be down here doing it. It's because we've had some bad news. They are selling my garden. It's a pretty sad looking garden. So let's get down to the new allotment and see if I can get some of the stuff in the ground before it dries out. And just hope that some of it doesn't die. And I might manage to save some of what was plot 17. It's been a lot of hard work over the last 3 years. Onwards. And yeah, it's sad. It's sad that this is coming to an end and that we're having to dig up all of my hard work. But we're moving to a different place and it has water and it is slightly bigger. So yeah, let's get this stuff out and move on to the next one and see how the next garden goes. And if you want to follow along with me for that, then please hit the subscribe button below. We will be starting from scratch with soil prep, getting my bulbs in, trying to move some of these perennials, and setting up the garden and the garden plan, as well as starting my autumn sowing. So please hit the subscribe button below if you want to see how that is going to go, and if you want to check out everything that I made from the flowers I cut in this garden, then you can follow me on my Instagram, which is From the Witch's Garden, and there is a link to that below. And I will see you guys in the new garden next week. Bye.